here from OPS Experience, and we're out walleye fishing, and a lot of guys always wonder, why do I carry so many rods? Well, one of the things that I like to do is stay efficient. I don't like to be retying on the water. We do enough of it already, so I like to just speed the process up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my 7 go-to setups for ice fishing for walleyes in northern Illinois and southeastern Wisconsin. They're in no particular order, they're just kind of how I threw them off of my ATVs. So my first setup is going to be a balance spoon. So this spoon is very specific. It's straight up and down, very good for a dead stick, works excellent for jigging, great all-around product there. Next up is going to be standard jig. So we got a 4mm with a wax worm. You know, a lot of guys use those for panfish too. They work great for walleye. Next up is going to be the custom Jigs and Spins Slender spoon. This spoon will tip with a minnow, a whole one, a head, a tail. You can see right now it's got some spikes on it. This spoon's going to have a lot more flutter action to it, imitate more of a dying bait. Certain times of the year that's going to be the hot bait to use, especially for us during the shad die-off that's going to start firing up here now. That's a great bait to start using end of season for me. I know a lot of guys use it all year round. Alright, now we've got another spoon here. You know, whatever your go-to favorite spoon is, it's always good to have a spoon on. Again, you can tip it with a wax worm, you can tip it with a spike, you can tip it with minnows, rosy reds. The Fishmaster's favorite bait, the little Cecil. Always a lethal bait year-round. Crappies, I love fishing walleyes for it. It's got a lot of movement, a lot of action. Then you see it's got that extra blade on there, helps trigger more bites. Alright, this one's going to be another one very similar for a panfish setup, but what we do is it's a standard jig to a loop knot. That's going to give that jig the ability to really move. So if you're sitting there, if you've got it on a dead stick, that minnow's got a little more place to move. If you're jigging, it's going to give it that little bit more action. You know, more action similar to running a slender spoon or something like that. So if it's a negative bite, high pressure, and they're not hitting the spoon, that's going to be my go-to setup. And then my all-time favorite thing to throw, often overlooked, the hair jig. I think a lot of guys overlook these baits in the winter months and how good they actually work. Hair jigs, flies, you know, anything with some marabou, some flashabou, just, it's imitating a minnow. You know, if you know they're on a minnow bite, go ahead and give it a throw. So, like I said, guys, I'm Trevor from OPS Experience. Those are my 7 go-to walleye baits for ice fishing northern Illinois and southeastern Wisconsin, and I'll meet you at the lake.